All right, ready. Hello, New Force Knights. It's that time again for the video of the week. I am Mr. Drummond, and I am out on my back deck. I like to start my videos with some little projects that I've been doing in my spare time. Last week I showed you my fireplace that I stripped down to the studs and replaced with reclaimed barn wood and a mantle made from a piece of wood from a barn from the 1700s. Now this week I'm going to show you a fire pit that I recently built, and then off in the distance in the woods behind it you can see a bunch of wood that I gathered from someone down the road from my house here. I'm out in the country, and they had cut down a bunch of wood, and I repurposed a bunch of logs into little tables. So I have one of the logs, it's actually a stump, on my deck here. I sanded it down and sealed it, and then polyurethaned it, which will keep the moisture out and hopefully keep it lasting a long time. And I'm going to make a few more for around my fire pit. So just real quick before we get into our lesson today, I'm going to flip it around here so you can see my little fire pit. I made it out of railroad ties and some locally sourced river rock. And way over there, hopefully you can see, is all that wood I collected from a person down the road who had cut down a bunch of trees. Some of those logs are almost 3 feet in diameter. That is big. But this right here is a piece of poplar, and I sanded it down, put a lacquer coat on it, and it is now my little table out here. So yeah, that was a project a little while ago, and like I said, I've made a couple little tables out of some logs. I love taking things that you normally wouldn't think of it to be used for and then finding a use for it. So hopefully you enjoyed that. But anyway, let's get on to our review. So for last week, lesson of the week, we were doing a rock, paper, scissors challenge. If you didn't get a chance to check that out, it's in the family activities folder. As we've done in PE for a long time, we've played rock, paper, scissors as a warm-up, but this cool activity, it teaches you how to play rock, paper, scissors, and then there are a ton of different games you can use that with. So check it out if you haven't checked it out. Every week we go over the muscles, but a little different for this week. In the fitness folder, I placed a muscles video. It's basically just one of those videos that shows you the body and how the muscles work, and gives you a lot of little cool little like facts, you know, stuff that you probably wouldn't know. Like, did you know that there are 600 muscles in the body? So that's one of the little facts that it teaches you. So it's pretty cool. Check it out. Like I said, it's in the fitness folder. It's called Muscles for Kids, a fun intro into the muscular system. And then for our exercises last week, we did a coin fitness challenge. So basically you took a nickel, a dime, and a penny in your hand, and you would toss it up, and whichever ones landed face up, you used that point value to know how many repetitions you did. So for example, a dime is worth 10, a nickel is worth 5, and a penny is worth 1. So if I threw it up in the air and the dime landed face up and the penny landed face up, but the nickel landed face down, you would do 11 repetitions of whatever exercise it is that you wanted to do. So it's a really cool little video. It's in the fitness folder. Check it out from last week. But for this week, I did another Avengers Training Academy video. This one's a Spider-Man hit workout. It's again in the fitness folder. That's a cool little video, just like the one I did before. Just different exercises, but a hit is high intensity training. So you know, get a chance, check that out. Very cool stuff. And then in the skills-based learning folder, you'll find an indoor foot golf activity. So basically, you're playing indoor golf using your foot. So basically, you take a box, you cut out a little opening, and then we use our kicking skills to put one foot beside the ball, and then we're using our foot as the putter. So just check the video. It's like 2 minutes long. It's very, very, very short. And it's just a cool little video. I didn't really want it, like we talked about this last week, I really didn't want to spend a lot of time on skills for stuff that we don't have a lot of equipment. So, like we did the rock, paper, scissors from last week. If you have a paper box laying around, if your parents are anything like me, you're ordering a lot of stuff online now that comes in paper boxes, so it's a nice little use of the box. So just cut a little opening. The video shows you how to plant your foot. Your plant foot is always pointed in the direction that you want to kick, and then use your instep as your putter. So just a cool little activity, and you can really run with that. So in golf, you have different holes, so you can put the box very close for easy shots. You could put it further away. Maybe you have the box not actually in sight, so that you have to bank it off of a wall, make it a little harder of a shot. I mean, these are just some little ideas for you to check it out. So I'm going a little out of order today. Usually I'll do the review first, but this is a live video, but it's really not. But anyway, I'm taping it, and right now it's live for me, but it'll be for you tomorrow, so it's not really live. But if you really get a chance, check out the family activities and mental wellness lessons from this previous week. In the family activities folder, we did this activity. It's called Active Home, and it has a ton of family games, and you don't need a lot of equipment. I mean, you might need a ball. I think you might need cones for one thing, but you can use anything in the place of cones. So it's just a ton of active games you can play at home with your family or whomever is at your house right now. And like I said, it's not a ton of equipment, so give that a chance. And then in the mental wellness folder, we did an activity called grounding, and I actually really like this activity. I actually tried it myself, and basically you use it anytime you feel stressed or you're angry or you feel some anxiousness. And the first thing you do when you're feeling that way is you stop and you take 3 deep breaths, and they're very conscious breaths. So it's not like you, and each time you exhale, you go a little longer. You're trying to get yourself to relax. And then the second step is you look around and you think of 5 things that you can see. So I'm on my deck right now. 5 things I can see. Well, I can see my fire pit. I can see the stump that I made. I have a rocking chair right there. There's another couple chairs here, and there's a little tree over there. So that's 5 things. The third thing, you look for 4 things you can touch. So I can touch this little table. There's a little flower here. I can touch that. There's a candle I can touch. I can touch this table, and I can touch the floor. And then the 4th thing is you find 3 things you can hear. Well, I just heard a goose fly over. Living in the country, you hear all kinds of things. So I heard a goose. I can hear a bird. On a side note, one of the things living in the country that I really want to learn to do is I want to be able to hear a bird and know what kind of bird it is, because I can always hear the birds out here, and I always wonder what kind of bird that is. So anyway, so that's 2 things. And then what's the 3rd thing? I can hear some frogs. There's a little stream that runs through the woods behind my house, and I can hear the frogs starting to make their noise. And then fifth, find 2 things you can smell. Well, I can smell the flowers right next to me, and I mowed the grass yesterday, and I can still smell the grass. So that's 2 things I can smell. And then the last thing is, what emotion do you feel right now? And actually, I feel a lot more calm after doing all those steps, because you've become kind of at one with your surroundings. That's why it's called grounding. So really thought it was cool. I think I'm going to do that often when I'm feeling like I might get a little anxious or upset about something. So anyway, that's the lesson for the week. I really try to add in a bunch of different activities for you to go. I know I can be kind of boring to listen to. So, and I'm not a big fan of talking. I'd much rather get out and do things than to sit and talk, as you know from PE. But anyway, I really do appreciate it if you have been watching the videos, and try a few of these activities. Definitely try the grounding thing, and the indoor foot golf, that looked pretty cool, and the video on the mussels, definitely check that thing out. That was pretty cool. But anyway, I'm still using my little cheat sheet here. Hopefully you've had a good week, and I really look forward to seeing everybody again in the fall when we can do this face to face. But I'll talk to you later.